Hey guys, we're going to do a post-race recap of the Bristol Forests Rally. It was this past weekend, so you guys haven't seen the footage yet other than a couple teasers that we posted online. Remy's working on the video now, but we're just going to kind of give you guys a summary of what happened, how we did, and then what we need to do in this car before Ohio, and then the rest of the season. We also got some updates on the Forester, so we'll kind of run through this quickly. Bristol was last weekend. We did really well. This is the first race with the car on the new setup. We did the 6-speed, short gearing, Cusco diffs, map DCCD, seats, harness, everything. We did basically the whole car is new minus the engine, which we're going to talk about in a second. So we did 2 test days. We went to Alabama last month. Car felt really squirrely. We didn't have the maps right for map DCCD, so we were not feeling too good about the car. We did break a front axle, which I thought was a fluke, which is not. And then we went home, I replaced the axle, got some better maps for map DCCD and did a few tweaks. Then I tested in Tennessee by myself last weekend before the race, and the car felt much better, maps were better, and broke another front axle. So seemed to be an issue that I got worried about before Bristol, so I ordered like 4 axles just so I had extras, because I couldn't find any OEM ones in time. And we loaded a couple less aggressive maps, which I thought was going to be a weakness when we got to the race, but ended up that the lower lockup maps were better for gravel. We also switched to manual brakes, so that took some getting used to. So Bristol was kind of like our shakedown for Ohio, but the car felt amazing, as you guys will see in the footage later. It rotates like a rear-wheel drive, but you can throttle out because it's all-wheel drive. We did have some pretty big issues, but overall the event was awesome. We won first in open all-wheel heavy, and then we won 3rd overall behind Hooper and Seamus in his R5. So pretty good. We were laying down some really good times. Probably was my best driving in a while, despite the car issues. The first few stages, it was looking like we were really going to make some really good times. Then on stage 3, unfortunately, the car started overheating, so we had to coast through stage 3. We went back to service. Weren't sure what to do. The car was way too hot to change the thermostat or remove it, which is a thing you can do. So we didn't want anybody to get burned because Blake had an incident earlier in the year with that. So we changed the spark plugs, checked for coil packs. We did think we found one of the coil pack plugs was loose. I'm not sure that it was, but we zip tied it either way, put new plugs in, gapped them, and went back out, and then kind of changed our strategy. So we ended up deciding that we were going to run with the heater on in the car on stage. It was pretty hot, so we didn't want to do it all the time, but we basically turned the heater on full blast. We didn't run any anti-lag, which Remy was not happy about. It still made good noises, but we couldn't run the anti-lag. It made it way too hot. And we ended up just running the race. In the straightaways, I would floor it. You could see in the footage coming up, especially on the pavement sections, we were getting some really good speed, probably 80, 90 miles an hour, maybe 100. The cluster's in kilometers right now, so I don't remember what it was reading. I think it was reading like 180 or something, which I think is like 110.
Yeah, it's about.
I don't think, we might not have been going that fast, but either way, it was cooling right down, and then in the woods it would start heating up again. So I kind of changed my strategy where anytime it was a straightaway where I could get higher than 3rd gear, I would give it full throttle, let it cool down, and then it would buy me the next mile or so in the woods at full speed. And then when it started getting warm, I'd back off a little bit and do some momentum driving. So not ideal for stage times, but a new skill to learn, momentum driving, and I think it helped out. And we ended up doing really good. I didn't really think our time suffered too much. In fact, the second run of the stages, we still made faster time than the first. I think 6 seconds from stage 1 to 4, which was good, but we could have shaved even more if we didn't have to slow down. So we managed it. Somehow the car held together, even though it was hovering near overheating all day and having some misfire issues, but this thing has never, ever not finished the stage, and even though it wasn't looking too good for us, it still didn't quit. The map DCCD controller also overheated on us for some reason, and it locked in full lock. So as you guys will probably see in some of the clips, first 2 stages, my car placement's better, it's flicking around the turn better, and then later on when the DCCD was locking up, you could see me fighting the sharp turns, and which is where I really found the value in the controller for not having it lock up so much. So I actually like the 30 to 50% lockup instead of full lock, which I didn't think I would. So we learned that. So fast forwarding, we have Ohio in 3.5 weeks. And as of right now, we don't know why it's overheating and misfiring. We had suspicion that the injectors were clogged from running E85, and these are about 3 seasons old. But I took them to Fast Tech. We flow tested them and cleaned them. Even though they're dirty, they're clean inside. And unfortunately, they all flow tested perfectly. So now we are moving on to going to replace the thermostat and replace both of the high pressure and lower pressure radiator caps in case they're letting small amounts of air in. I'm going to go run it this weekend pretty hard and see if it wants to overheat again. And if it does, then unfortunately, typical Subaru, we probably blew the head gasket and maybe warped the heads, which is, to be honest, this will be the first car that I have ever blown a head gasket on. And we're making, significant amounts of power. And also this car has been running for 3-4 seasons now, and I've never ever blown a head gasket, but it's part of it. So we'll keep you guys updated on that, but we're kind of going through that right now. So we're going to do those changes, do some testing. I'm sure I'll update you guys further with this, and we'll be ready for Ohio, and then we're going to pick the rest of our season after that. And then Forester, we're getting both these cars ready for the East Tennessee Dyno Day on May 29th. I'm bringing both cars. And the Forester, we just switched to a 4-port boost control solenoid to help regulate the pressure a little bit more. And we are going to sort of max it out, see what it reads at Fast Tech's dyno, and then we're working on a secret project with it that we probably won't say anything about yet. But we have alluded in other videos that it's just never fast enough. So most likely, I'm still not happy with how fast it is. So most likely, by the end of summer, it will be significantly faster than it is now. So we have some pretty big plans for that. I'm not sure why we're doing that. It's completely pointless, but that's gonna be fun. And then we just picked up a 302 F-150, and we might make that into a pre-runner because we just have nothing else going on. So we just might throw that in there too, and we'll see what happens. But that's it for updates for now. So we'll keep you guys posted on what's coming next.